I'd like to call this meeting of the Show Low City Council to order. Show that all council members are present except for the vice mayor who has to be excused tonight. Thank you all for joining us tonight. First item on the agenda is invocation given by Councilman Whipple, followed by the pledge by Councilman Judd. If you'd all like to join us, you may do so.
Our dear Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee this night, we are grateful for the opportunity that we have to meet as a city council, and we are grateful for the opportunity that we have to discuss the needs of this community and find ways to serve the members of this community better. We ask You to please help us to make wise decisions and to be great examples to those around us. We ask You to also bless our national leaders, that they can be wise and that they can make good choices as well. Bless us this evening that we can be smart, and these things we ask and pray for and do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I can tell you I love opening up our meetings that way. I attended the Navajo County, Miss Navajo County pageant the other day and gave the opening. I didn't give the opening prayer, had the opening prayer given, and I was telling myself, we got to pledge the flag. I forgot. Just within 3 seconds, I completely spaced it. All right, next item on the agenda is call to the public. City clerk, like to read? No? Or I'm sorry, city attorney.
Thank you. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the city council may do so at this time. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person and shall be addressed to the city council as a whole and not to any individual member. Issues raised shall be limited to those within the jurisdiction of the city council. Pursuant to Arizona open meeting law, the city council cannot discuss or act on items presented at this time. At the conclusion of the call to the public, individual city council members may, 1, respond to criticism made by those who have spoken, 2, ask staff to review a matter, and 3, ask that a matter be put on a future agenda.
Thank you, and I don't have anybody for call to the public except for a couple on the agenda item, which we'll bring up later. Okay, next item on the agenda under special events, presentation of snow management plan, Mr. Austin and Mr. Hall. Or should I say Mr. Hall and Mr. Austin's going to back him. One of these years, Brian, I'm going to get you to talk.
We're going to get it right now.
Oh, am I?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
All right, Mayor, Council, good evening. Staff would like to take this opportunity to present the 2024-2025 snow plan. During a snow event, the city's 215 lane miles of streets is split into 14 routes with 28 plow operators responsible for clearing and de-icing the streets. When a call out is necessary, up to 14 of the 28 drivers will begin plowing their assigned routes. The map on the screen depicts the 14 routes that are usually followed by the drivers during the snow events. Our primary equipment consists of 4 10-wheel dump trucks, 2 6-wheel dump trucks, 3 loaders with plows, and several pickups for plowing cul-de-sacs and smaller right-of-ways. In conjunction with the street operations, the Parks Facility Maintenance Team led by Mikey Mierscow will start clearing sidewalks and parking lots at all city-owned buildings, which includes the police department, the bus barn, aquatic center, city hall, community center, library, museum, cemetery, city campus, streetscape on the Deuce Clubs, and several parks and park trails. The primary equipment for this department consists of 4 pickup trucks, 2 side-by-sides with plows, 2 tractors equipped with Gannons, front loaders, and of course several snow shovels. Prior to an official snow event, myself, Mike, or Rick will be out assessing the need for deployment of equipment and personnel for snow clearing or de-icing operations. Snow removals are classified into 4 levels. Level 1 is reserved for a 1/2 inch to 2 inches of snow. When the snow starts to fall, myself, Mikey, and Rick will start monitoring the streets and facilities for any slick areas that may need immediate attention of cinders or de-icer in the areas that were pre-approved by council. Level 2 is reserved for 2 to 3 inches of snowfall. At this point, Public Works is out making sure all school bus routes, collector streets, transit routes, and city-owned parking lots remain open by a combination of light plowing and cinder spreading. And the B shift led by Jeremiah Johnson is being placed on standby for a full call-out. Level 3 is reserved for 3 or more inches of snow and triggers a full call-out of 2 12-hour shifts, supervised by myself and Jeremiah. Public Works will continue snow removal operations until the streets are open and passable for all traffic. After the snow has ceased to fall, the streets will be widened curb to curb. The next step is to follow a predetermined sidewalk list that is in the snow plan, which includes city parking and the entire downtown area. And level 4 is reserved for a severe event that triggers a haul off of snow that impedes traffic and rescue services. The last function in the snow plan is a courtesy removal of snow berms for the citizens of Show Low who are unable to shovel their own berms. When a resident has successfully submitted a snow berm removal form stating a disability that the applicant is physically unable to perform the act shoveling snow, the city will return to the pre-approved location for the snow berm removal. A snow berm removal form is available upon request at Show Low City Hall by calling the Public Works Department at 928-532-4100 or by downloading the form online at www.showlowaz.gov. The current approved number of snow berm removal applications is 151. During a snow event, the airport will be conducting braking action tests on the runway with a Beaumont AFM2 decillimeter or equivalent to determine what action needs to take place to keep the airport functional. As the need arises, additional resources and manpower may be rotated to assist in the snow removal process. Staff has created a policy regarding mailbox damage due to snowplow operations, as we recognize the post office regularly has our residents put their mailbox in the city's right-of-way in order to deliver the mail to them. The city has a mailbox permitting policy that gives the citizen direction on materials that can be used in the city's right-of-way. This permit can be obtained at City Hall in the Planning and Zoning Department. If a resident feels their mailbox was damaged by snow operations, the resident must immediately report the damage to the Public Works Department at 928-532-4100 or email us at bhines@showlowaz.gov to have a city representative verify if the damage was indeed due to snowplow operations and not for other reasons like rotten post or pre-existing conditions that is documented by Public Works Department during pre-snow operation inspections. If it has been determined that the mailbox was indeed damaged solely by our snowplow operations, the citizen has the option to make a claim to the city, have the city replace the mailbox, or fix it themselves and submit a receipt to the city for up to $125 of reimbursement. The city will not replace specialty mailboxes. Thank you. Any questions?
Great job.
Absolutely.
You've been teaching him?
I've been watching his videos the last
Forever.
all day long.
Any questions or comments?
I got a comment. Well, we know on the council, we've got the best snow crew, we've got the best roads out there, and that's thanks to you guys. So I just want to say thank you. You guys do an awesome job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to thank Ryan and Rick. You guys do a phenomenal job. I think that when the snow occurs, and we're hoping and praying that we get a huge snowstorms this winter time, and I know you guys probably don't love being called out to it, but we appreciate you doing that. We know that it's long days, it's long hours. It's very tiresome, but we appreciate the leadership that the two of you have and the rest of the crew. It's kind of one of those unsung, the work that you guys have to do, and if something goes wrong, then we hear about it. But a lot of times when everything goes right, we don't really hear about it. Occasionally some people will come in, and we've had them come in and tell us what a great job the two of you do and the rest of your crew. So I want to thank you and your crew and make sure you pass that along, that we appreciate all that you do. We've had nothing but, as long as I've been on the council, great experiences with the snowplow removal throughout the city. So thank you.
I'd also like to thank you guys. I know when we're home in our warm homes and in the middle of the night and enjoying our homes, that you guys are out working late and cold hours or cold temperatures and late hours. And I just thank you for all your hard work. And I'm grateful that when we get up in the morning, the roads are clear and we can get going. And you, because of your guys' hard work, and thank you. And like everyone else has said, I totally am just happy with the work you guys do.
Yeah, ditto on everything they said. I was up in Williams this last weekend, and we did a wedding out in the woods, and I can tell you this state is dry. It was so bad out there dry, but we definitely appreciate everything you do, and hopefully this time next year we'll be talking about a new home to park those trucks in so they don't get piled up with snow and you got to warm them up first before you get out. But thank you guys both, and definitely thank your staff. You guys, I preach this to Rick all the time. You guys have an awesome crew, but we certainly appreciate it very much. Thank you guys. Good job, Ryan. Alrighty, next item on the agenda is a consent calendar. We'll proclaim by the mayor proclaiming November 10th through the 16th, 2024 as Community Fast of Compassion Week for those in need in the city of Show Low. Proclamation by the mayor proclaiming October 13th through the 19th, 2024 as Arizona Cities and Towns Week. Consideration of acceptance of construction contract for 2024 citywide roadway improvements. Consideration of acceptance of construction contract for the cemetery expansion. Consideration of non-commercial lease with Jones Mont Air LLC. Turn the page. Termination of the lease with Desert Fish Aviation. Consideration acceptance of construction of reconstruction Headworks building. Considerations of the minutes of the Show Low City Council regular meeting October 1st, 2024. Look for a motion to accept the consent calendar as read, or if somebody wants to pull anything.
Make a motion to accept that.
Got a motion, I got a second. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed, motion passed unanimously. At this time, I'll turn it over to the city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas community service has always been a part of America's as well as Show Low's heritage, and whereas the number of those in need in our area seems to be an always growing number, and the people of our community have always shown a sincere desire to help those in need, especially during the holiday season. And whereas a number of faith-based and other organizations approached the city of Show Low in 2013 with a plan to help those in need in our community. And whereas the city of Show Low embraced this concept, out of which was born the Community Fast of Compassion for those in need. And whereas the city of Show Low and its citizens have discovered that the Community Fast is a very worthwhile cause that has made a huge difference in the lives of many in our community. Now, therefore, John Leach Jr., Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, does hereby proclaim November 17th through the 23rd, 2024, as Community Fast of Compassion for Those in Need Week, and urges all citizens of Show Low to come together for the 12th Annual Community Fast of Compassion for Those in Need, joining us in setting aside one day during this week to fast and pray for guidance, grace, and protection for our great city and nation as we address the challenges of our time and the concerns of those in need. Donate the cost of 1 or 2 meals or more if possible from this fast to this worthy cause, with donations accepted at Show Low City Hall, National Bank of Arizona, Chase Bank, the Arizona Central Credit Union, and online at showlowcommunityfast.org. And join us in a community celebration on Sunday, November 24th at 5 p.m. at the Show Low School District Auditorium. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Steve, if I can get you guys to come on up. Not at all.
Well, good evening, Mayor, and council members, staff. This is the 12th year of this Community Fest. And one of the reasons that this Community Fest is in its 12th year is because of the city of Show Low and what the city of Show Low is and the character that the city of Show Low has. One of the things that I love about being a citizen of Show Low, and I live in Show Low, is the care and nature the city of Show Low has for its people, for its citizens. Although city of Show Low is obviously a process where city has to deal with government, you have to do with right and wrong and have to do with political correctness and all that. One thing I love about the city of Show Low, it puts people above politics. And I've seen that since I've lived in the city of Show Low, and I appreciate that about Show Low. This Community Fest is a testament to the city of Show Low and the nature that it has for caring for its citizen. This would never have happened and had the success we've had without the city of Show Low. So I've been with this, the Community Fest since its inception. I've worked with previous Mayor Seymour and different members over the years. And all of us just want to say thank you to the city of Show Low, the city staff that works with us. Thank you from this bottom of our hearts. Over 12 years, or 11, 13, as of last year, we have raised over $320,000 in this community that has gone to all local charities in the community. And so we just want to say thank you. We appreciate your support, and it would not be possible without the city of Show Low. Thank you.
I just got to make a comment. For as many years as I've been sitting up here, I remember, I think the year before the 12th year, or this is the 13th year, you guys came to us with this idea. It's like, well, let's figure it out. And you did, obviously. 300, what'd you say, 60-some, $320,000. I think it's amazing. You know, I started going to the celebration on the Sunday. This year it'll be on the, 17th. 24th. I was close. I knew it was somewhere in that week. But anyway, it's a Sunday, 5 o'clock at the high school gym. And to me, I always say that when I'm kind of the only one that does talk at that event. Believe there's lots of videos and music, but it's the kickoff of the holidays. It really is. It brings the town together. You know, we start celebrating not only Thanksgiving but the whole holiday. So it's really fun. If you guys have a chance to go to that event on the 24th of November at 5 o'clock at the high school gym, it's amazing. The churches that come together and sing programs and the videos that we show of last year's recipients of some of the money, it's absolutely amazing. If it doesn't grow your heart big, you shouldn't even be in the building. But thank you guys for everything you do. It's amazing. I can't wait to see what happens this year, but looking forward to it very much. So we appreciate everything. Steve, did you want to make a comment?
Yeah, just real quick. There may be some people that aren't real familiar with the Community Fast, but they can go to sholowcommunityfast.org and they can see they can read about how the fast works. Like Pastor Heckathorn had mentioned, 100% of the donations stay here locally over the holidays to help people with rent and food and modest gifts and things like that. So every penny donated will be passed on this year. And it's 501c3, so donations are tax deductible. A lot of businesses have been generous, but there's a lot of people that have probably been in a position they might benefit from the donations that have given up a meal or two to donate, which is tremendously touching and kind of the widow's mite. You see a lot of that. But I also just want to make sure people know who's on the committee if they have questions. Steve Heckathorn is here, and Becky Clark, the principal at Show Low Junior High, President Jared Hall, Pastor Tom Brown, Mayor, and myself. But you can go to sholowcommunityfast.org to learn more. But we're excited for the 12th annual Show Low Community Fast of Compassion. Mayor, just echo, we had about just north of 300 people at the celebration last year. And in my view, that's as good, that's as important as the fast itself, coming together and celebrating. The schools perform musical numbers and some churches, and then there's like a community choir at the end, and Mayor speaks, so I guess it's worth it just to cover that. Anyways, we hope for anyone that maybe hasn't had a chance to go, there's no cost. You just come and enjoy and fellowship and get to know someone. And anyway, so we really appreciate your support. I don't know if Becky or Jared had anything, Mayor, if that's okay. Maybe they don't, but.
No, you know, I when you said that, I get to speak, and it's a privilege for me to speak. Actually, it gives me goosebumps. And my wife always says, "What are you going to talk about?" I said, "I have no idea. I don't even think about anything. I go up there and I see the people in the crowd and everybody talking in the videos, and it puts it in your heart. I have no idea, and it gives me goosebumps. It really does. I don't know what it is about that event, but I talked to a lot of different events, but that one just like I said, makes your heart grow for sure. Councilman Clark.
Yeah, I just want to thank the four of you and also the entire committee. I think that a lot of times in our society now, we can look at times where people, things are negative, things, you look at the news, the election cycles and those kind of things. And to see what this group has done is really, it's really touching. It's really gives you your faith in humanity, and it helps you want to be a better person, right? Because you see the good that you're doing. But also, I'd imagine that the four of you are busy. You have other things that you could be doing. You probably have your families, your jobs, and a whole lot of other things that you could be engaged in. But you choose to help out the community, and so I want to applaud each of you for doing that. I know that a lot of times there's not a lot of people who want to be doers. They kind of just want to sit back and complain and do that. And so I want to thank each of you for being willing to go out and to be doers and to be the type of people who make your community a better community. I wish there were more people like that would say, hey, what can I do to help make our community a better place and make it the type of place that we can all be proud to live in. So thank each one of you for taking the time out of your lives to do that, because I know each one of you is very busy, so thank you.
Mayor, could I leave some flyers with
Absolutely.
Rachel here for
Sure.
some flyers and some proclamations that she could pass out to each of you, if you would, Rachel, when it's convenient? But from the bottom of our heart to the city of Show Low, thank you. You have made this possible and made this successful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. See y'all soon. Thank you. All right, we have another proclamation. If I can have the city clerk read it too, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas the citizens of the city of Show Low rely on local government to experience a high quality of life in our community, and whereas local governments in Arizona work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to deliver city services such as police, public works, and emergency services to create safe and viable communities. And whereas the methods of funding these vital city services are not always clearly understood by citizens, and whereas it is one of the responsibilities of city officials to ensure that legislators, media, and citizens understand their local government through open and frequent communication using various avenues and means. And whereas it is important to work to encourage this connection and inform citizens of the importance of state shared revenues to preserve the excellent delivery of services that our citizens have come to expect in our city. And whereas through education and awareness, citizens, community leaders, and city staff work together to ensure that services provided by the city of Show Low remain exceptional elements of the quality of life of our community. Now, therefore, John Leach Jr., Mayor, on behalf of the Show Low City Council, does hereby proclaim October 13th through October 19th, 2024 as Arizona Cities and Towns Week. Thank you.
Thank you, city clerk. And I believe we have a video, correct? Somewhere in video land.
Day and night, sun up to sundown. People who ensure the safety, protection, well-being, the convenience and enrichment. Those who live, work, and play in every city and town in Arizona are constantly at work. And thanks to each and every one of these services, many that you never think of, Arizona cities keep businesses at work, libraries open, traffic lights blinking, clean water flowing, and so much more, keeping life as we know it moving. They say that a city never sleeps, and thanks to Arizona Cities at Work, that has never been so true. Learn more about how your Arizona cities and towns work.
Kindergarten music. Thank you, Ms. Hall. Appreciate that. All righty. Next item on the agenda and our new business is a public hearing. Well, there's nobody here for this, right? It's proclamation. It's us. Public hearing consideration of an application submitted by Juanita, Alicia Esparza, and Cody Lawyer for a number 12 restaurant liquor license on behalf of Show Low Cafe for its location at 480 West Deuce Club, Show Low Suite B, Show Low, Arizona. Mrs. Hall.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Juanita Alicia Esparza and Cody Christine Lawyer, representing Sholo Cafe, submitted a liquor license application for a number 12 restaurant liquor license for its location at 480 West Deuce of Clubs, Suite B. As required by state law, the property was posted and no public input was received. According to City Code, a conditional use permit is required for a number 12 restaurant liquor license to sell any other spirits beyond beer and wine. Staff reached out to Ms. Esparza and Ms. Lawyer to notify them of this requirement. It was discussed that for the time being, if the liquor license application was approved, Sholo Cafe would only serve beer and wine at its location until they have obtained a conditional use permit through the Sholo Planning and Zoning Commission. The Sholo Police Department conducted a background check on the applicants and found nothing amiss. The Department of Liquor Licenses and Control conducts its own internal investigations and background checks. Based on the investigators' findings and the recommendation of the City Council, the State Liquor Board will decide whether to approve or deny the application. And just note that if the City Council chooses to recommend denial of the application, the motion must state the reasons for the denial. Also, Ms. Lawyer is here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hall, appreciate that. At this time, I'll open it up to a public hearing. I have a couple here. Laura Dottie, you want to speak on this matter? Come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please.
Mr. Mayor, council members, ladies. My name is Laura Doty. I live in out by the Y community, actually in Eagle Ridge to be exact. I have a lot of contact with people here, and I especially have contact with people at Rocky's Lounge. I'm one of the local comedians that performs here in and around Sholo and Pine Top. And Rocky's Lounge is one of the gathering places for most of us who are in the comic business, if you want to call it that. For me, it's more of a fun thing. But the point is, I am against this for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is superfluous. Rocky's already has a liquor license. Ava and her husband have a non-compete clause. This would compete against an already established business right there in the same building. There's no need for this. The idea of having a restaurant is excellent. I used to be a frequent patron of the Sholo Cafe before their problems. It was a good business. Would love to see the restaurant business open, but to try and put a bar downstairs when we have the bar upstairs, it's unnecessary. And it would compete, and Ava and her husband have worked very hard over the last year and a half to bring a certain ambiance that we have there at Rocky's Lounge. And one of the best things, of course, is the fact that we don't deal with any children. And one of the best things about Rocky's Lounge, as far as I'm saying in the way of, what's the word I want to say? To prevent people from drinking and driving, that set of stairs is the best test. If you can't get down that set of stairs without any help, you have no business driving your car. And that is one of the big things there. And if we start having another bar in the same area, not only is it competing against their business and what's already there, you're opening up the door for probably drinking and driving, because they have no test other than maybe somebody keeping an eye on them. So I am firmly opposed to the idea of granting an additional liquor license in the same building where the one already exists. It's unnecessary. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have another one. Eva, please come up, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Marshall Eva May Haverland. I am at,
We got to have the microphone, sorry.
I'm at 480 West Deuce of Clubs at Rocky's Cocktail Lounge. Right here I brought a copy for the city council so you guys can take in consideration my lease agreement with Jack's Ventures. I believe that's how you say it. It says that nobody should have another liquor license in the building that I'm in. This right here shows that I sent that to my landlord, a copy of this, just as a reminder that that is in our lease agreement, and also to Cody that is applying for the license. This goes to show, this is the address of my liquor license, right? It's in the same exact building with the same exact address as the Sholo Cafe. They are not separate businesses or premises. I brought education on how the Arizona Department of Liquor, and I've highlighted some areas for you, that two liquor licenses are not to be allowed on the same premise. Can I hand this over to you now? Just so you guys can, before you guys make a judgment, you guys have all the information that I think was needed. So I wrote a little speech, and this is all I'm asking. My lease agreement clearly states that I have a non-compete agreement that guarantees no other organization will have liquor license on the same premise. I brought this to the attention of my landlord. He does not care. I fully intend to pursue litigation. Should this license be granted, I am advising the city of Sholo of this conflict of interest. I'm asking the city to not engage in this contract violation. Me and my husband, we put everything that we had into this bar. We have only been open, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. We have only put a year and a half into the business. We have not been able to recoup the money that we have invested into this business as of yet. When you have a restaurant, this is how it goes. They can offer cheaper beer. They can offer cheaper alcohol because they can offset those costs by food, right? That would make it directly impact me upstairs. You know, like if you know that you can pay $2.50 for a beer downstairs, you know, and it's $4.50 for the beer upstairs because they can offset their costs with food, it will hurt us. It really will hurt us. That's the reason why I have a non-compete clause in my agreement. That is the reason why I made my landlord put that non-compete clause in my agreement. If he wanted to have a bar, you know, of any kind downstairs, he should not have, you know, did the no-compete clause, and he should have just told me that he didn't want a bar up there. If they want liquor, if there's customers at the Sholo Cafe that want liquor, there is no reason why they cannot ship food up to the bar, you know, and have somebody expo it up. There's no liquor laws that prohibit that. If they wanted to ask me and work fairly with me and not out of greed, they could have asked me what I needed to do and how we could work together to extend my premise of liquor license down to the restaurant. I could have done that. I've even talked to the liquor board about that. That is something that I could have done, right? And it made it easier for them to serve alcohol as well down there. But these are things that they did not discuss. It's greed. It's unfair. And I'm asking you guys to take that in consideration because this will destroy my business. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to touch on a few of those, City Attorney?
Thank you. Ms. Haberlin, appreciate your concerns. The City Council is limited to respond and vote as to matters that are within their jurisdiction. The non-compete clause is a civil matter. This liquor license matters is a state of Arizona Liquor Board matter. Those are not matters that our City Council can address.
Does that make sense?
No, not really, but.
Okay, at this time, I'll close the public hearing and turn it back over to the council for questions or comments or motions. Have it in front of me. We got any questions?
I have a question. Does the Shola Cafe, they already have a liquor license and this is to, they don't have one?
This is a new application.
Isn't it? Okay.
But the way you stated that it's not our decision, if the state liquor board wants to put two businesses with two liquor licenses, they're going against their own laws, right? That's my understanding.
Mayor, it is your decision whether to approve it or not, but whether or not there's a non-compete clause that's valid, that's a civil matter for the parties to litigate. And if there is a legal issue in regards to the liquor license having two on one premises, that's for the State of Arizona Liquor Board to establish. That is not before us to determine the law on that, whether that's accurate or not. That's for the State of Arizona. And they have indicated that they do not find that it's a problem that there's two liquor licenses on that premises. But if they want to pursue that, they can pursue that, but that's not before this council to address.
Okay.
If you have other reasons, and there's a basis for those reasons, you could deny it, but you would have to state those reasons.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments, motions?
Mayor, just to be clear, you're making a recommendation to the state liquor board
Right.
to approve or deny. So this isn't the final say. The state liquor board takes up any issues. If there's a law that says you can't have them at the same location, then the state liquor board will address that. You're just making a recommendation.
Right. Does that make sense? I don't have it. I'll make a motion. Give it to me.
Here, I'll make the motion.
Go ahead, Council Judge.
I move to recommend approval of the State Liquor Board of the application submitted by Juanita Alicia Esparza and Cody Christine Lawyer for a number 12 restaurant liquor license on behalf of the city. The Sholo Cafe for its location at 480 West Deuce of Clubs, Sweet Pea, Sholo, Arizona.
Got a motion, I need a second. Got a second. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Was it unanimous down there at the end, Councilman Nash? Okay, thank you. Motion passed unanimously. Thank you all. Hope that settled some of the nerves and moving forward. But okay, next item on the agenda is consideration of resolution number R 2024-31, approving and authorizing intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Transportation for HERF exchange funds for North 11th Street improvements. Mr. Hemsall.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. City of Sholo is scheduled to receive federal STBG funding in the amount of $617,000 for the North 11th Street Improvement Project. The scope of the project is to reconstruct North 11th Street from East Cooley to East Huning, remove old existing concrete and asphalt, install new ADA compliant sidewalk ramps, roadside parking, concrete pavers, conduit sleeves for future lighting and landscape improvements, as well as requiring drainage, as well as the required drainage infrastructure required for the improvements. We're also going to repave the asphalt roadway and parking areas, as well as install required signs and new pavement markings. Basically, it's the continuation of the downtown streetscape improvements. It'll be along the east side of North 11th Street from Cooley to Hall, which goes like Monica's restaurant, that area. It'll be on the east side of that roadway. And then it'll also be just a sidewalk with trees and lights along 11th Street as well from Hall to Huning, because there's that drainage ditch that's along the House Restaurant's parking lot. We can only fit a sidewalk, trees, and lights. Instead of completing the project under the restrictive standards required by federal funding, the city would like to utilize the HERF exchange program at the Arizona Department of Transportation to exchange the federal funds for state funds. That way the project can be constructed as if it was a local project without additional requirements. The cost to utilize the HERF exchange program is 10% of the total funding. So the city will give ADOT $617,000 of the STBG funding, federal funds, and ADOT in return will give the city $555,300 to state HERF funding for the project. This will allow staff to complete the project as if it was a local project and have more control over all aspects of the project. Resolution number R 2024-31 approves authorizing intergovernmental agreement with ADOT for the HERF exchange funding for North 11th Street improvements and authorizing the mayor to sign said agreement. The agreement is attached. I'm available for any questions.
Thanks, sir. Questions, comments, motions?
Let me make a motion. I move to adopt resolution number R 2024-31, approving and authorizing intergovernmental agreement with Arizona Department of Transportation for the HERF exchange funding for North 11th Street improvements and authorizing the mayor to sign said agreement.
Got a motion, I got a second by Councilman Councilman Adams. He raised his hand again, but all those in favor of the motion? All those opposed, motion passed unanimously. Thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda is summary current events.
I don't have anything.
Down here, it's pretty quiet. Homecoming is Friday. I'm not sure who we're playing. Does it?
Monument Valley.
Monument Valley, so I'd like to see everybody out there for homecoming this Friday, kick off at 7. I think that's all I had. City manager.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, so there's a number of events for Halloween taking place in the next couple of weeks. I won't go over all of them here, but you can look at our website. There's a Main Street has their trunk or treat. We have a scarecrow walk starting up this weekend. There's some stuff at the recreation department with the youth, so plenty of chances to celebrate the season and get involved. Today, as I drove by there, they painted the striping on Old Linden Road, so that project's just finishing up. On Wilford Road, we're working hard to overcome some obstacles that we've had there with some problems with the base, but also some equipment that got vandalized, but that should be moving forward, and we're hoping that'll be finished up in the next few weeks on that project. And I think Rachel, anything else? I forgot my paper.
You forgot your paperwork.
I think that was it.
Equipment
The
rodeo.
contractor at Whipple Ranch.
Whipple Ranch, okay. Oh, yeah, and we're doing, you guys might have noticed over by Whipple Ranch, we're doing a sewer project through there called Savage Sewer Phase 1. That's a very deep sewer line that goes through that, and we're right there kind of by Whipple Ranch, but we should be moving out of the school's way by the end of this week, getting that project completed.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thanks, City Manager. Next item on the agenda, schedule of meetings.
Just remind everyone of the city council retreat on the 23rd, 9 a.m. at the Darren Reed Community Room at the Public Safety Board.
At what time did you say?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Does anybody need seconds on anything? See no more business before this council, I'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you, guys.